2. Hi, and welcome to Birth Workers Without Borders podcast, episode 9. This podcast was created by Desert Bloom Collective because we are passionate about educating our community through fertility, birth, postpartum, parenthood, and the rest of our lives.
Today, we will be interviewing Mellie, the dreaming yogi, and speaking on how to use your dreams for self-healing. So we will be discussing topics such as tips for remembering your dreams, common themes in collective dream work, and we'll also be touching on Mellie's course membership, Cosmic Dream Alchemy.
Our frequencies are all here in El Paso, Texas today to speak with Meli, who is a local dream healer through being a certified dream interpreter, an aromatherapist, and an astrologer.
So Mellie has quite a few certifications and experience. Some of them do include certified dream interpreter, owner of the Dreaming Yogi, founder of the Dream Mystics community, certified yoga instructor and mentor, certified alchemical astrologer, life code aromatherapist, tarot reader, and crystal healer. She helps sleep deprived and stressed individuals uncover the root cause of their anxieties through dream work. In her own practice, she has combined practices such as meditation, yoga, essential oils, crystals, tarot, and more to enhance her dream work.
So we will have all of her quick links in one link below in the description of this video for you to access on our YouTube. And since this podcast is also on our website, you can just go to Mellie's profile and find more information and links about her there. Today we have 2 members hosting this podcast. So my name is Serena, and I am a local licensed massage therapist, a healer, a hijama practitioner of traditional Islamic medicine, birth and postpartum doula, and photographer.
And my name is Yvonne. I'm an alchemist and tarot reader, Reiki practitioner, meditation guide, and body movement instructor. We're all members of Desert Bloom Collective, where we support our community with diverse holistic care, as well as promote each other as individual small businesses. We are strong believers that families are free when they have full control of their own health and bodies.
So we are thrilled and honored to introduce our sister, Meli de los Santos, the Dreaming Yogi.
Mellie, how are you feeling today?
Thank you so much for having me here. I'm doing great. How about you two?
I am awesome.
It's been
to be alive.
It's been a chaotic few days, not gonna lie, but so thrilled to be here in your presence.
Any interesting dreams last night, dreaming yogi?
Well, yeah, I mean, someone from my past did surface in my dreams, so I'll leave it at that. But I definitely know it had to do with all the retrogrades going back direct and, just shining a light to certain things.
So do you want to tell us a little bit about those retrogrades and what is it that ended, or what is it that went direct, or what?
Well, there's a couple of planets. I would have to see my little app real quick here, but Mercury is going retrograde right now and until the 18th, until Monday. And that's in the sign of Libra, which is all about, relationships, love, beauty, all of that stuff. And Pluto, Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter is soon coming direct. So we're feeling that energy, Saturn with the responsibilities and doing your work, being committed to certain things and setting boundaries, Pluto transformation, and Jupiter is expansion and higher learning and self-exploration. So all of that, shining a light in your dream.
Thanks.
So Meli, this is probably maybe the most annoying question you might get. How do you remember your dreams? Everyone wants to know.
Yeah, I mean, that's my favorite question because you can't do any of this dream work that I share without remembering your dreams. And I share a lot of techniques throughout my programs, but the easiest one and the one that I would recommend starting with is setting that intention every morning, writing something down, even if it's just how you felt or that you didn't remember, but you'll try again tomorrow. That just reprograms your mind into knowing that that's important information to retain. And I do have a free workbook that shares my 3 simple rituals to help you remember your dreams on my site.
Awesome. Do you need to remember a lot of dreams in order to even do dream work as healing in your life?
Well, it definitely helps if you're specifically doing dream healing, but you can start working with how you felt when you woke up and start working with night rituals to go to sleep. That's why I use so many tools to enhance your sleep and that dream recall. It definitely does help, but you can do healing work with other modalities. And then once you do start remembering your dreams, you're going to see the link between the healing work you're doing in your day-to-day and the dreams that are showing up.
Sweet. So if I can ask, what is it that, how did you start doing dream work, or why dream work?
Yeah, I mean, I started with my own journey a few years back, or a lot of years back. I was an engineer and I was starting to develop daily panic attacks and anxiety and insomnia. And I did notice that one of my dreams was reoccurring. And that's what really got me to like, wait a minute, what is this? Maybe this is something to do with why I'm feeling this way with the random panic attacks that felt random. And once I started just understanding what the message was in that dream, it started shifting. And I saw the link between my own inner healing and the work that I was doing reflected back in the dream until it was no longer a nightmare. It was a beautiful dream of closure. And that's why I became so obsessed with it.
Sweet, I see. So along your journey, has there been times where you had no idea what the heck your dreams meant?
Yeah, I mean, especially at the beginning when I was like just learning about it, everything I share, I've experienced it first and I explore within myself first. And then once I grasp it, then I share it with my students and my members. And sometimes that's why I recommend going back to previous journals, because we can have a dream that seems so simple, but when I flip through them, I see like, oh, it was actually sharing so much more than what I thought in that moment. So that's why having like that record is really good, and just continuing to explore certain things, the message will become clearer with time.
What would you say is one of the biggest challenges when it comes to working with other people's dreams?
Well, I mean, I see myself more as a guide to help you and the dreamers come up with their own unique interpretation. So just the openness of the message coming through, I think is not that it's a challenge. I find more of the challenge like when working with younger kids, which I don't do often. I have to have the parent present, but since I help with finding your own unique message, that can be a little bit of a challenge when working with children or younger adults. But it's all about the openness to be able to create those links, and that's what I help with, the link between the waking life and the dream.
So you definitely get to know people on a very personal level when it comes to this.
Yeah, definitely.
If they allow it.
Yes, of course.
So before we get into any details about this Cosmic Dream Alchemy, basically course membership, right? A free challenge starting Monday. I want to know first, like, those words are beautiful. What is Cosmic Dream Alchemy?
Yeah, so it's actually like you mentioned 3 separate things there. The Cosmic Dream Alchemy is the full program that I have where I walk you through everything. And if we separate it all, it's using astrology and dream work, so cosmic, dream, and alchemy to transform your life. So the astrology, I combine it with your dreams to really see what's happening in the sky that can be highlighting certain dreams, and then finding the message between the dreams. And then what we do with the alchemy is how we use that to transform our lives into something better, or the definition I like, turning the ordinary into the extraordinary. So that's what we're doing with our dreams and with ourselves as well.
Amazing.
Amazing. So did you want to get into any more details about Cosmic Dream Alchemy, or they should just follow the link that we have now in the description?
Yeah, so the link is going to break down every phase. There's 8 phases, but like a quick rundown is that this was done with the intent that a newbie can definitely go from A to Z with this program. We start off the first 4 weeks going over how to remember your dreams, how to work with your dreams, interpret them, everything you need to know about the dream work and the healing that comes from that, like what you do with the message of the dream. And then if you know nothing about astrology, and even if you do, it's a good review. We talk about astrology. So it's like two different, basically like 3 programs in one. And I cover different topics too, like workshops on crystal healing and tea leaf reading and all these things to enhance the dream. And then we put it all together with the alchemy and how can you put all these modalities together to craft your own alchemized process. So that's the program, and that's for those who are ready to just dive in head first, learn everything and do the work for themselves. With my support, of course, I'm in there in the comments and they have access to me.
Wow.
So it's pretty much,
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
no worries. It's like everything that you've done for yourself, and now you're giving other people the blueprint.
Yes, I'm definitely breaking it apart. And when I started this journey, I was so a bit overwhelmed with excitement to learn all these things too, but there's so many contradicting information out there. So this program really does, I mean, it covers a section on essential oils for those who want to add that in there, on crystals. You know, we talk about tarot. So all of these modalities, like those are like the mini workshops, but the overall is the dream work, the astrology, and then the alchemy. So yeah, those are for those who want to dive in. And then for those who want some more support or to dabble in these modalities, I have the Dream Mystics community, which is my monthly membership.
Wow.
Amazing.
I was just gonna say, we're like so excited. We're just like, like I want to see what this is to me. That what I interpret too is like not just your healing work, but everything you do like in one package. Like you've combined your career and your history of how you've healed yourself in similar ways that how I do my massage sessions. Like everything that's worked for me, like let me give you that because I know it works. And so believing in what you do is like what we all strive to do. So it's beautiful to hear your passion and just how much it relates to your whole life. It's amazing work.
Thank you for that. Yeah, and I like all these modalities. I mean, for me, they've worked and I love them. But I also realize that every person is so unique. Every dreamer is unique, and not everybody believes in crystals or likes the smell of oils or wants to do yoga. So it's kind of like I'm giving them the tools, and then you can make it your own.
Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite tool to integrate into your dream work?
I would have to say, I have to pick one.
Yes, just one.
I would say my essential oils, definitely. I mean, they help you sleep. They help bring messages clearer. Even like a little side note, even when I had like a stuffy nose and I used eucalyptus to sleep better, it brought so much of a different vibe to my dreams that I'm like, oh, I got to write that down. So essential oils, they're always with me.
It's literally like medicine, like a prescription, nature's prescription.
Exactly, the gifts of earth.
So Yvonne had a really awesome question that we said that we would ask if we had time, and we do. So go for it, Yvonne.
So is there a common theme in people's dreams in relevance to what we're currently going through with this pandemic?
Yeah, I mean, I did notice at the beginning of it last year, there were more themes of like socializing. So showing how we wanted to come together as a community, and also maybe feeling like that was like we weren't supposed to, right? With all the quarantine and everything, but that need to come all together. So there were themes of like parties, gatherings, maybe doing it like on the down low. And that also shows a deeper sense of the collective, bringing it all together, how we are all coping with this, you know, global pandemic that is something so new to us and also affecting our sleep too. So that would be like, that's the dream, but also as a collective, our sleep has been really affected by that.
So whether this is like information coming from the stars or the subconscious or everything connected, specifically for you, Melly, what else is going on in, I guess, the cosmic world? Like
I mean,
what in general is going on with you that you're excited about?
with me, I mean, I really do see how the planets, I talk about the planets in general on my page and everything, but within the program and what I do for myself too, is I see the unique placement and how it's affecting me and my members. So I can really see a huge spark of inspiration. Uranus is doing all sorts of things with my chart, and with the Saturn really getting me to revisit my projects from the past, making them better. So I've incorporated a lot of things into my membership. Like one of the things, like I mentioned, all the modalities that I share, but each month we're only focusing on one topic and also incorporating that topic into dreamwork. So it's more of a, let's all get organized, because everybody that comes to the membership wants to do all the things, right? Like you two also have a lot of different modalities and skill sets. So it's like we've all come together because we want to learn all these things, and I'm aware of how overwhelming that can be. So we just focus on one topic each month. And we also incorporate the dream piece into it. So I can really see the cosmic energies bringing me more into alignment. Like I've been kind of scattered with different projects and different ideas, but it's kind of bringing me back in to where I can still do all these things, but in a more like structured way, which is what Saturn is all about.
Sweet. Is what is it, that thing that you go through every 29 years? Is it your Saturn return, or what is it?
Yeah, the Saturn return. That was actually what got me to have this big shift from engineering to dream worker. It happened exactly during my Saturn return. And for those who don't know what that is, every planet takes a certain amount of years to come back to the same location it was the day you were born. So every birthday, you know, it's called a solar return because the sun is returning every year back to the location. Saturn takes between 27 to 29 years. And since Saturn is the wise elder, the one that's going to make sure you're on the right path and put tests in place, you might start feeling like kind of these life transitions, or kind of like, ooh, things feel a little bit weird. And it's just testing you. And for me, that's where all of this happened, and where I started exploring all these modalities and made that change. And the exact week that the Saturn had returned back is when I decided to move back to my hometown here in El Paso and quit my job, study all the things I just mentioned. And it was all within those months. And I didn't know anything about astrology. I learned that years later. And then I went back to see what was happening in the stars when this huge shift happened. And yeah, that made me even more obsessed with combining it all.
I have a question for both of you, because you're both really into crystals and really into tarot reading as part of your work in this world for others. So for people who are super religious, for example, like I'm in a Muslim community, I used to be Christian, a lot of Catholic group, you know, all different like religions. I've noticed they are like, oh my gosh, tarot cards, you know? And I know that they're a therapeutic, you know, exercise to help you imagine and organize your brain and thoughts and put information together. But what would you tell somebody who's like, oh my gosh, that is like the devil type of a response to crystal healing and tarot cards?
Honestly, like I feel like I wouldn't even take too much energy to respond, because at this point I feel it's not my responsibility to change anybody's mind on their beliefs. But I just continue to remain grounded in the way that I use them, and just make sure my intentions stay golden.
Ooh, that's beautiful. I over explain things all the time, and I kind of had that thought when I first started reading the tarot. I used to always think that it was going to forecast, like, what if it forecasts something really negative? And I was always against, well, not against it, but just like not my thing. And when I started studying it, the way that I see it is that it's helping me get the answers that I already know within. So that's the way that I explain it when people are kind of like iffy about it. It's, you know, if you look at it, it's actually a piece of like cardstock, you know, it's man-made, printed, you know, and it's our intention as we're shuffling and pulling the cards, it's going to speak to your subconscious in a similar way that the dreams do, that images, you know, give you that answer, but it's the answer that you know within yourself. And the same with crystals, that everything made from earth has its own vibration, and that vibration is solid. Ours is always shifting. So we're holding on to it, working with it to bring our vibration to that of the crystal. So, that's my rational way of explaining it. And of course, I have my own way to connect with these tools, but that's the way that I would explain it to someone that's iffy about it.
Right. And like intention is like, you could literally see it as a different way to conversate with God too, right? Like guide me and speak to me, and it being like recognizing that. Okay. I have one more question for both of you. For people who are pregnant, birthing people, since this is Birth Workers Without Borders, what would be like maybe 1 to 3 things that you would recommend out of all of your work that you both do to support people who are pregnant folks?
Okay. Definitely some type of meditation, centering practice, whether it's like breath work or I don't know, just focusing on something for, as little as 5 minutes a day, or even if it comes in bursts. Definitely think meditation is a big one. Also body movement. Feeling into your body, feeling into how you feel. A lot of times we get so distracted and we're out here. But especially when you're pregnant, I think it's super important to come back into like how your body is feeling, because you are creating a whole other human within you. So maybe even connecting that breath, that meditation with tuning into your body. And then as a third one, I would just say stay in touch with your community for sure. That's a big one. Prayer, prayer with community.
That was beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, I know. For me, can I share my tips for when the baby's after born?
Yes, anything in the process.
Yeah, so what I'm not a mom, but yet, but the advice I would give is, especially when kids are so young, they have such a connection to past lives, at least that's what I believe, and they also have all this imagination. I would make it kind of like a family thing where you listen to your children share their dreams. You get to learn so much about them, especially as they grow up, and struggles in school and bullying and things like that happen. Just hearing them share their dreams as they grow up can really be impactful, and especially when they're like little kids too, that they're just sharing their imagination. There's so many little practices that you can do with your kids to make it incorporate the dream work, but in a fun way, and connect with them. The second one is, this is what I'll do if I ever have kids, is definitely plot my kids' chart as soon as they're born. And what you can do too is, and this might be a little bit more advanced if you don't know about astrology, but if you do have a reading with your child in comparison to your own chart, you can kind of see where clashes in communication are, so you can speak in a way where there is less conflict, and things like that with your children. And also, I guess while you're pregnant, essential oils are really good. Just be really, I mentor for essential oils too, if anybody needs support with that, but not a lot of people know that there's essential oil safety for ladies who are pregnant, and there's some that you don't want to use anything that's hormone balancing, because we don't want to induce periods when you're pregnant. But there's some very subtle ones that can help if you're feeling stressed, like lavender, or something to help with nausea that can be really good for you as you are, going through the pregnancy stage. So those are my 3.
Amazing.
Thank you so much.
And what about you though? What about you? What would you recommend to other ladies or yourself? Like,
I'm supporting a client right now and I'm so excited about it. It's just like, that's how I feel right now. It's weird because every time I'm pregnant, I start like doing birth work at the same time. But I think today I just posted about like birthing blessing and talking about like that free, not paid for service that your community gives to you, your friends, your family, your sisters, to make sure that before that birth, you are nurtured, that you are ready, and that you got this, And so just, I think people physically looking into your eyes, like, are you ready? Do you feel ready? You know, and just if they don't feel ready, like, okay, we need to support this person a little more, you know, and that's that moment where we're like loving on them and we get to check in with them right before and make sure they're ready. So yeah, I think
support.
Support not just from people you pay, you know, in the medical system.
Like real, true community.
The love, the community, yeah. But I asked all my questions for you all. Is there anything else that you want to bring up or talk about?
Well, I do have a challenge coming up. It's completely free. It's a 3-day mystical nighttime ritual challenge to really help people step up their nighttime routine and also connect with their dreams in the process. But yeah, it's 3 days with the intention in mind that this shouldn't take a lot of time, but something to get you kickstarted into your spiritual practice or just daily practice, to reduce burnout, improve your sleep, and get a healthy habit started. So that's also linked in my website, and of course I'll give you the direct link to share on this description.
Sweet. So what would you say to somebody who was never implemented any type of routine before bed? Like why is it valuable?
Why is it valuable? Because we want to create kind of a transition from all the chaos of the day. We are living in a life where we're processing so much and we're always on the go. And if you just go from like work and doing all these responsibilities to sleep, that's where we see all the tossing and turning and extra sleep deprivation, insomnia, extra stress. They call it like the cycle. The less you sleep, the more you stress, the more you stress, the less you sleep. And it's like a vicious cycle. So, I mean, I don't know if you can relate to that.
I'm
but
like in it right now. I need to take care of myself.
Yeah, you need to join the challenge.
Yes, I do.
That's why the intent with those 3 days is to build on each day in like a short video and a workbook that I'm providing, to get the stuff that you need to start implementing this nighttime routine, see the progress, and hopefully carry it on, because we sometimes just need that little push, that gentle push to start it. And with the challenge, you'll have the accountability and all the things you need. So.
Well, thank you so much. This has been Birth Workers Without Borders podcast, episode 9. And thank you so much, Mellie, and speaking to us on how to use your dreams for self-healing.
Thank you.
DBC, we out.